program is brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?
How do you relate with others at your place of work? What is the relationship like with your customers, your suppliers, or any other stakeholders in your line of work? How do you deal with conflict with others, or just simply voicing out your opinion or giving your input? Perhaps the umbrella question to this is, are you self-aware? According to organizational psychologist Tasha Urich, while 95% of people think they are self-aware, only 15% actually are. While this figure is quite low, research has shown that self-awareness is a useful quality for executives, managers, HR professionals, and indeed in business. But why should we be self-aware? While the Workplace Solutions posits that being self-aware means taking the time and effort to understand yourself better. Understanding yourself better can help you make informed decisions that will help you improve your life, which may include how to build a successful career path. For others, this may translate into being a better employee within your current position, climbing the corporate ladder, or just simply being a great colleague all round. This, however, is not only geared at just being a great colleague at work, it also extends to other people in your life, such as customers or suppliers. Over the next few episodes, we will be carrying out a series on self-awareness with life coach Lily Rennie. Lily will be helping us understand what self-awareness is in its true essence, while opening our eyes to its importance in progressing our careers, furthering our business endeavors, and shaping our entire outlook on life. Lily, thank you so much for coming here on First Issues. Perhaps you could start off first by you explaining to us what self-awareness is and why I should know about it.
Self-awareness is the ability to really be present and aware of what you are doing and why. To be able to reflect inwardly so that you can take intentional steps forward after really understanding what the options are that you have, and based on those options, which choices would serve you best. Well, you and everyone around you, everything around you. So we see that the opposite of that, and a metaphor I'd like to use to explain this is when you are flying and the pilot puts the aeroplane on autopilot. Then when the plane is on autopilot, no one is aware of the gauges of what is happening where on the monitors. They are basically sitting back. They're thinking about what they're going to do tonight when they arrive at their location. They might be thinking about what happened yesterday or on their way to their flight today. They might be occupied with thoughts of their children or other things that need to happen. And they might be eating a sandwich or just sitting back, closing their eyes and completely unaware of anything that's happening around them. And that is many times how we live our life. We live our life unaware of what is really happening in front of us in this moment and with us. We are unaware of the things that's asking for attention, because it's not really what we are focusing on, but we are rather spending time in the future, thinking of scenarios, things that might happen in the future, like what are we having for dinner when we land, or we are in the past, thinking about yesterday, thinking of why did that thing happen yesterday and should I have done things differently. So we see that should the plane actually require their attention, and should the plane require an intervention during that time when the plane is on autopilot, the pilots might not become aware of that. They might not know. And when would they become aware that the play needs their attention? Because they are looking everywhere but the present. They aren't present with what is happening in front of them. So when would they become aware? They would become aware when all of a sudden there's an alarm that goes off. The plane is really calling for attention. And it could be that the plane has been needing attention for quite a while. But because they were in another space and they were focusing on other things and not being present, they didn't notice what was required. And this is what happens to us. This is many times our lives where when we are not self-aware, time goes by and we don't notice the things that need attention, up to the point where something breaks or someone screams or someone can't take it anymore. Something happens to alarm us and alert us to the fact that we need to become present. So when the alarm goes off in the cockpit of the plane, all of a sudden the pilots sit up and they take notice. And in that moment they can see, okay, so we need to take radical action here. But sometimes it's even too late then to really turn things around in our lives, certainly with our health and in our relationships, in our work capacity. Sometimes at that point it's just too late. It's too far gone, and we can't now rectify the damage that has already been done. So this is why self-awareness is such an important topic. Why do we need to become really mindful and intentional with every moment in our day? It's because we want the best results, and if we want to show up in the best way possible, we really need to be present and mindful and very self-aware.
But in its essence, what does self-awareness have to do with my business or my professional life?
Being self-aware has got everything to do with your business and your professional life. Let me give you an example of this. When one is self-aware, you notice what is happening for you. You are aware of your body and what it is trying to tell you. Many times the body knows more and better than the mind does what is really going on. For instance, you might have a specific agenda with a client thinking that I really, really need more business from them, where the body might be saying, no, I'm uncomfortable. In your mind, you might be thinking, but I can really make use of some extra income in my life. But the body says, I'm not comfortable with this. And when we inquire from the body, what is this that I'm feeling? And we ask more questions because we are listening to our body. All of a sudden, it becomes clear that doing more business will take me down a path that I don't want to go. It's not my right life. It's not where my North Star is. And it's not really what I'm meant to do right now. We see that when I am self-aware, I become aware of little things that's happening, where I notice that someone is upset, which I wouldn't notice when I'm not self-aware. I notice that I'm not feeling too great about the conversation that we've had, and maybe this person is upset, and I can have that conversation and ask, I'm noticing something. Is there something wrong? And they could have a great conversation with me about the fact that there's nothing huge going on, but there are a couple of things that they feel that we should focus on. And by focusing on those things, it really benefits my business.
As we have now been made privy to why self-awareness is important, especially to our professional and business lives, where is the starting point to being self-aware? Join life coach Lily Rennie in a follow-up episode as she will be unpacking the tools to adopt to be more self-aware. For now though, we'll see you after the break. Stay tuned to First Issues.